This speaker will rock your next party, whether you're indoors or outdoors. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and I want to talk about music, but I want to talk about portable music because that's hard to accomplish. There are a ton of speakers out there that are portable, that are small, that can fit in your backpack, but they generally have small sound to go with their small size. Enter this. This is the Fender Teufel ROCKSTER CROSS Bluetooth speaker, and as you can see, it is substantial. It is very much leaning on the Fender design, and it even includes an actual Fender guitar strap as a carrying strap. In case you're wondering, it also includes a Teufel guitar pick. I think that's just for fun because I don't know that you can use it with the device, but this is a really great speaker. It gets super loud. It has enormous sound, and it has so much bass that you might find yourself going into the EQ on your device to dial it down a little bit. There's a lot of bass, which is usually the area where all these portable speakers are really weak. So very cool design here. Features 2 tweeters, a woofer, and 2 passive radiators. Now, passive radiators let all those lower frequencies that are inside the device come out. So that's sort of kind of like having more bass there too. 30 watts of output, which is plenty of power. It is aptX compatible if you have an Android phone. That generally those are the aptX devices. Bluetooth 5.0, it does allow you to plug in 3.5 millimeter audio, though it doesn't come with a cable for that, so you'll need to BYOC in that regard. And you're looking at this and you're thinking, okay, so battery life, dude. How long is this thing gonna last when my party's just jamming? The answer is 16 hours on a full charge. Now, let me give you a little bit of a tour. There are on the top 4 buttons that are the multifunction button, volume up, volume down, and a microphone button. We'll get back to that in a second. On the back, there are buttons for pairing it with a second speaker. You can actually do it as true wireless stereo if you get 2 of these ROCKSTER CROSS, and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and power. And then on the very bottom, there are 2 flaps that you open up, one of which gives you AUX in, that's 3.5 millimeters, power in. It has a service port, which I don't think you will ever use or I will ever use. And then there is a USB-A out. So you can actually charge your phone from the speaker, which is pretty cool. There's really lots to like here, and it is fairly heavy. As you might expect, it does have this heavy-duty strap because it's almost 9 pounds in weight. But that's the trade-off with speakers, is if you want to have a lot of bass, you need magnets, and magnets add weight. So it's a substantial weight, and in terms of the size itself, it's 5 inches by 15 inches by 6.3 inches. So it's a hefty boy, and the sound, well, let's push some music out through it. And I'm just tilting it a little bit more towards my microphone. But there's a lot of music and there's a lot of bass. I can feel the table vibrating to the bass. Pause it. So really the music reproduction is really fun. This is something where, like, if you are practicing at the gym with your buddies, then at the volleyball court or basketball or wherever you're doing a workout, this is a perfect thing to put on a bench and just jam your tunes and make that event that much more fun. But of course you can use it indoors, and you can use it on a picnic table. You can take it anywhere you want. 16 hours of battery life gives you a huge amount of flexibility. But one of the things I was curious about is the microphone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the voice recorder app, and then let's see, I'm going to turn on the microphone. And then now what you're hearing is my voice as actually picked up by the Fender Teufel ROCKSTER CROSS microphone. So yes, you could use this for a speakerphone, Honestly, I'm not sure why it has a microphone. It does okay, but I don't really see a lot of situations where you're going to be using this for that purpose. But if you want to, you now know what it sounds like. So let me turn this off. And that's mostly everything I wanted to cover. Let's also talk in the box. So the speaker, the guitar strap with little sort of mini carabiners. It's a nice way to have it connect. The ever important guitar pick, you never know. And then document-wise, there's a little thing on all the different speakers that the partnership of Fender and Teufel make. And there's a little user guide that is so slim that it doesn't even document what all the buttons are. So I was just guessing that that third button on the back is Wi-Fi. It might be something else entirely. I don't know, because it's not documented. And then finally, the largest document in the box is actually legal disclaimers in, let's see, 3, 6, 7 different languages. So obviously it's the international edition. Now, you will want to know that when you need to power this up, it's not just plug it into USB-C or something. You need to have this power supply with that connector on it, and then the other half of this goes into a 110 wall outlet. So this is pretty substantial, but my expectation is this is something you'll just leave maybe, I don't know, by your front door. You'll leave it plugged in, and then when you bring this in after enjoying it outdoors for some hours, just plug it in, and there's a little tiny LED on the back that will show you when you get back to full power, and then you're good to go. So 16 hours of battery. I think this is the third time I've said that. It is IPX5 water resistant. So if you're outside and it starts to rain, you don't need to panic. Make sure those little back panels are closed so those ports don't end up being input space for water. You don't want that. And you can take 2 of these. If you had a second one, you can actually pair them. That is covered in the instructions. And then you'd get even more sound. That would be super fun. So that's really everything. I think that they've done a great job. The design is obviously very much inspired by Fender guitar amps, which I personally find a great design. I mean, they're such fantastic amps. So to have it look like this, and all these simple controls and everything, still not sure about the microphone feature, but you know, we'll give them that because it was probably pretty easy to add it. Otherwise, really one of the best sounding portable Bluetooth speakers that I have ever tested. It's really, really nice. This is going to be one that's going to just live in the back of my own vehicle. And when I'm out and about and I want to be able to enjoy some tunes and, you know, don't want to just like open up my car and use that, then this is going to be a fantastic solution. Definitely worth checking out. We do need to talk price. Before we get there, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click or tap on that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon for notifications of my new content. And give me a thumbs up if you found this of value. Excellent. This is the Fender Teufel ROCKSTER CROSS Bluetooth speaker, and it is $179.99 at Amazon.com. That is fairly spendy for a portable Bluetooth speaker, but I promise if you go for this thing, you will be blown away by the sound, both the volume and the quality, along with all that bass. So if someone says, give me the bass, you're like, got you covered. So that's what I got. Hope to catch you in my next video.